Hello and welcome to the new products training from Middle Atlantic. My name's Jeremy. I'm with Momentum Group. I'm your training and technical director. Today we're going to go over the new products from Middle Atlantic for the 2016 year. We want to start with a problem that tends to happen quite a bit in the field. You go back to a rack room or to a cabinet rack and you can't see any of the interconnects behind. You have to either pull out your phone or one of your little work lights, set it on the rack, and hopefully that the light stays put. So what Middle Atlantic has done is identified this problem and, they've created a solution for it. As you can see, there's a little device that illuminates the back of the rack. This is our rack mount LED work light. It comes in a couple of models, dual or single. And it only requires one power connection, so you can daisy chain from the first light. As you can see, this can be expandable to larger racks. One thing we do know is that this is a time-saving device and definitely makes it easier for your installers to get in and out quicker and make the right connections the first time. The next topic we're going to cover is DC power distribution. This is a problem that all of our integrators are all too familiar with. We have a lot of devices running off of DC power and not enough power plugs. So a lot of times we see this exact scenario play out. We have a power distribution bank with a power strip with multiple wall warts plugged in. As you can see, those wall warts are taking up a lot of space. One thing Middle Atlantic came out with is a power distribution box, a DC power distribution box. As you can see, this cleans up the rack immensely. It replaces those messy, space-consuming wall warts. It comes in multiple voltages, and it really can be used with any manufacturer's DC device. There are two sizes available, 45 watt and 125 watt. You're just going to have to know how much wattages you're taking based off of your rack design. Multiple voltage outputs are supported in a single form factor. The smaller unit comes in two voltages, 5 and 12, and the larger comes from 5, 12, 18, and 24. With these boxes, multiple level of protections, both AC and DC on the input and the output section. This is a safeguard, so if the temperature gets too hot or if there's too much draw going to the unit, then it's going to shut off, and that's going to protect the device. When the unit comes back into normal operation, it will turn the circuit back on. On the AC side, you will get MOV and overload protection on the AC side, so any surges will be mitigated by the MOV device built into these. We have also added some convenience USB outlets. On the 45 watt model, there are 3 convenience outlets. It'll reduce the number of wall warts, it'll save rack space, and it has flexible voltages. This is a no-brainer to add into any rack design to save time, money, and most of all, space. Continuing on, we're going to talk about the UPS family of products. On the top, you can see the Select Series UPS, which is our good option. And then on the bottom, you see our Premium Series, which we've had for a while, and that's the better option. That's our pure sine wave option. Let's cover on why the Online Series, the new Online Series, is the best. This is when failure is not an option piece. It's the ultimate level of backup that isolates, conditions the output power for clean and consistent perfect power. So our Select and our Premium Series use the line interactive approach. How that works is there's a switch that when a loss of power is detected will switch on and the power will then be diverted through the battery. This gives us a longer battery life because we're using a trickle charge. We get some energy savings, it's going to run cooler, and it gives us the option to do a pure sine wave or a simulated sine wave, which allows us to save on costs. The things to consider is that there's going to be a transfer time, and depending on what you're plugging into this, some equipment can't handle a transfer time. A lot of controllers, network equipment, these are things that you really shouldn't allow a transfer time to happen because there's going to be a glitch in the power and it could cause some weird ghost in the system to come out. The next option is the Online UPS, which is our premium option. This is the new product. It is always connected to the battery. So the AC is always going through the battery. The benefits? Well, you're always going to get a pure sine wave. You get automatic voltage regulation, so surge, conditioning, all of that built into it. Zero transfer time is what this allows to do. Being that the power is always connected, when there's a loss of power, the battery will kick in without you even knowing because the battery was already kicked in. The things to consider with this, though, it's a shorter battery life. So you're going to have to sell them more replacement batteries, and that's just the nature of the product. A good 1-year service contract can help protect against, any downtime. Other things to consider is that it's going to create a lot more heat. Being that the fans will always be running, you're going to need to make sure that your rack is evacuating the heat quick enough as this is building up the heat. And the power is always dependent on the battery life. So if the battery fails, the whole device will not pass power. So you need to make sure you're monitoring the system. As you can see, the online series of UPS is the premium power protection product. It is a complete isolation and conditioning with double conversion topology to get the cleanest power possible. If you need clean power, if you have brown power, this is the device. It has the longest runtime because you can add up to 10 expansion battery packs, and not to mention this thing is front accessible, so you can hot swap the batteries when they need to be replaced. This will eliminate any downtime related to UPS power maintenance. This just makes your installer's job a lot easier, in and out of the job quicker. Of course, we have the advanced power management software that's included on all of our UPS series, and it can monitor, it can be controlled, and we also have the ability to add an IP card via the UPS IP card, and that gives you IP connection to it and control through a control interface. Twist lock receptacles, we have up to 3,000 volt amp models. I want to thank you guys for taking time to learn a little bit about the new products from Mid-Atlantic, and I hope to hear from you soon.